Hello everyone, welcome to Code in Depth. So today we are going to solve the question number 1969, which is minimum non-zero product of the array elements. Okay, so what we have to do in this question is we will be given a number and we will have an array. Consider an array nums 1 index which has indexing from 1 in the inclusive which has the elements 1 to 2 to the power p minus 1. For example, if p is given to be 1, then array elements will be 1 and 2 to the power 1 minus 1. So it is 1. So the elements will be 1 only. And if p is 2, then the elements will be 2 to the power 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. So 1, 2 and 3. These will be the array elements. Now what we have to do? We have to choose two elements x and y from nums. Okay, so we have to choose two numbers from our array. And then we have to choose a bit in x and we have to swap it with the bit in y. Corresponding bit refers to the bit that is in the same position in the other integer. Okay, so now you have to find the minimum zero product. Here it is given an example. So here you can swap the zeroth bit of, here it is 0 and here it is 1. You can swap them. So your number will become, x will become in the bit form which is 4 times 1 and y will become 1. Okay, so now you have to find the minimum non-zero product. Okay, so first we will discuss the approach and then we will write the code and then we will discuss the main problem which is done by most of the students. Because of that they have got the wrong answer. So here we are discussing the approach first. Okay. So for example, if your number is 2, then, or let me take a larger example. So okay. So here when p is equals to 3, then your numbers will be 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1 and 1, 1, 0. Okay, so now think once that when will we get the minimum product, and there is also triple one. Leave triple one as of now. We will think about it later, but accept it. See, the count of ones and zeros at a particular bit is always same. Here the number of ones is 3 and number of zeros is again 3. If you go for this second bit, then here number of zeros is again 3 and number of ones is again 3. Okay, so the one thing is clear that p, if you have to get the minimum non-zero product, so if you make the numbers 1, means if you make 3 numbers like this, then you have to multiply as you have changed the bit. So here you should take 1, 1, 0 as the count of bits should be equal. Here again 1, 1, 0. Here you can see that count of 1 is 3, count of 1 is again 3, count of 0 is 3, count of 0 is 3, 3 and this is also 3. Okay, so now What is this number? It is nothing but it is 1 less than the maximum number, which is 2 to the power p minus 1 minus 1. Okay, so how many times you have to multiply this? You have to 2 to the power p minus 1 divided by 2 times, as if you have number given as 7. Then how many times you will multiply 7 divided by 2, which is nothing but 3. Okay, so now the approach is very clear. Let me erase this. Yeah. So the approach is pretty simple, that you have to multiply the maximum number, which is 2 to the power p minus 1 multiplied by, if power of the number just is smaller than this, means 2 to the power p minus 1 minus 1. And you have to multiply this how many times? You have to multiply this exactly half of the times. Okay, so now when you will calculate power, then the time complexity will become very huge. So here we will use the modular exponentiation. If you don't know about modular exponentiation, then you can read an article on Geeks for Geeks. I will also provide the link in the description. It's very simple. It's just to calculate the power fast. And now you have to return the answer modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 7. Because this number can be huge, so we have to do this modulo. Mod means mod is 10 to the power 9 plus 7. Okay, so this number can again be very huge. So if we know the property of mod, then what is it? If it is a into b modulo mod, then it is nothing but a modulo mod into, let me change the color, it's not visible, b modulo mod, and then whole modulo mod. Okay, so this is the property of modulo. So we will apply the same thing here also, and then we will return the answer. Okay, so let's write a code for this. Okay. So yeah, first we will find the, or let me take the base case first, that if p is equal to 1, then we will simply return 1, or if it is not like that, then we will make a variable named value, which will be 2 to the power p minus 1. So 2 to the power p, we can write it like this, minus 1. And now what we have to return? We have to return value multiplied by, or value modulo mod multiplied by, we will make a function named power, so we will pass it in it value minus 1, and we will have to do the power to value divided by 2, and again here we will have modulo mod, and Now just we have to write the function for the modular exponentiation. So it is let me define the mod first. So it is, I am using a macro to define it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so yeah, and it is in power, or we should take it longer. Now the mistake which is done by maximum number of people is that they have taken it as unsigned b. So the problem with this will be that values are long. So if we are passing a long value in an unsigned value, and if it is larger than the unsigned value, then it won't be able to store that, and if it won't be able to store that, then you will get the wrong answer. So it's important that you initialize that you take the data type of b as long. Okay, so we are initializing result as 1. We are first taking a is equals to a modulo mod, and if a is equal 0, it means that a is divisible by it, then we will simply return 0. Or if it is not like that, then while our b is greater than 0, then if our b is odd, then we will multiply the result into, then we will make b half and we will square a, and but it is necessary that we take the modulo simultaneously, and at the end we will return the result which will be our answer for the power function.